The passengers' consent controversy so soon. However, does Passengers have a romantic ending? And the legacy of Passengers, as a film enthusiast who has spent countless hours poring over scripts and analyzing cinematic masterpieces, I must say that Passengers remains one of the most intriguing yet disappointing films I've had the pleasure to watch. The movie had all the makings of a blockbuster, 2 A-list stars, an engaging plot, and a sci-fi setting ripe for exploration. However, it was the film's failure to navigate the complexities of consent and gender roles that left a bitter taste in many viewers' mouths. 8 years have passed since the release of the sci-fi movie Passengers, starring Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. Despite the high-profile cast, the film hasn't garnered critical acclaim, leaving viewers puzzled. The movie was heavily criticized by film critics. Peter Keogh from the Boston Globe even labeled it as quote-unquote mediocre. This assessment contributed to its low rating of 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it's surprising that this result doesn't reflect the high level of success that Lawrence and Pratt had achieved in 2016. Pratt had just wrapped up a hit movie, Jurassic World, which grossed over $1 billion and was also recognized for his role as Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. On the other hand, Lawrence was already Academy Award winner, with notable roles in movies such as X-Men, Days of Future Past in 2014, and The Hunger Games. As a passionate cinephile, I find it perplexing when a movie that appears so promising fails to meet my expectations. In the case of the enigmatic sci-fi film Passengers, and this conundrum seems particularly intriguing. The controversy surrounding its ending has sparked heated discussions among viewers. Here's an insight into the stir caused by the finale of Passengers. Should you find yourself unsure about the backstory of the conflict, allow me to refresh your memory. In a future where Jim Preston accidentally woke up 66 categories too soon during a voyage to Homestead 2, he felt so lonely that he decided to awaken Aurora Lane, played by Lawrence. He concealed this fact for her, and once they developed feelings for each other, she discovered the truth. This revelation left her feeling devastated and betrayed. Occasionally on-screen love tales may not live up to their charming portrayals. Such was the case with the film Passengers, which found itself entangled in a controversy no romantic narrative wishes to encounter, a discussion about consent. Marketed as a heartwarming sci-fi love story featuring appealing actors, it evolved into a tale of severe breach of trust and manipulation. Jim, unable to seek Aurora's approval before awaiting her, resorted to deception instead. This led to an unequal relationship that left many viewers disgruntled. In my humble opinion, as a movie critic, Passengers strives to mitigate the impact of Jim's actions on viewers' perception, creating a narrative that feels slightly convoluted. The film, he presents Jim as a hapless victim of circumstances, a portrayal that, in all fairness, does justice to his predicament. Introducing the audience to Aurora before she's awakened sets up a dynamic where Aurora and another character, Jim, have different levels of knowledge rather than an equal dynamic. This positioning portrays Aurora as a character at a disadvantage compared to Jim, yet Passengers consistently avoids depicting her as a victim. Instead, she experiences the usual romantic progressions with Jin while being unaware of crucial details. Through storytelling methods, Aurora's control over her own narrative is undermined as events unfold based on a secret she remains unaware of. Essentially, Jim altered Aurora's life trajectory without her awareness. This setup results in the chosen beautiful girl being guided by a convenient romance rather than one chosen freely. In the third act, it can be challenging for viewers to accept that Aurora forgives Jim despite his previous betrayal. Jim bravely repairs something on the ship, and Aurora chooses to overlook this. The story ends with them living contentedly ever after. The movie Passengers portrays Jim as a heroic figure, while Aurora appears to be in need of rescue, reinforcing their traditional role throughout the narrative. As there is no other choice, Aurora must forgive him, either making peace or facing a lifetime of isolation similar to Jim's. But essentially, it's Jim who rescues Aurora from the predicament he creates for her. And ultimately, the characters discover a means to persevere despite overwhelming obstacles and deceit. Jim seldom encounters problems that his charisma or physique can't smooth over for him. Aurora is now involved in a relationship that was constructed without her consent. Had he not been discovered, this relationship would have continued to thrive on lies. It was a practical arrangement designed to be more palatable to the audience, as it fulfilled the conventional trope of the good-looking protagonists ending up together. Historically, such pairings were inevitable in the end. The physically attractive duo were always destined to become a couple. For numerous individuals, the film Passengers has slipped into obscurity amidst Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence's otherwise thriving careers. Despite earning enough to recoup its costs, becoming the second highest-grossing original live-action film of 2016, it's important to recall its missteps so as to avoid similar pitfalls in the future. The controversial ending of Passengers was a point of contention for many viewers, and rightly so. Pairing two highly marketable stars for a sci-fi romance tale seemed like a guaranteed success on paper, but, and many say similar. Perhaps the main flaw of the movie Passengers lay in its effort to portray a traditional love story when people's understanding and expectations regarding gender roles in cinema were expanding or had expanded significantly. Consequently, critics found it harder to overlook this misstep. By the time Jim and Aurora float away together on the Avalon, 2024 might serve as an opportune moment to contemplate what that ill-timed journey to another world taught us, as our own cinematic journeys continue to innovate and enrich gender dynamics on screen. The Passengers is available to stream now on Prime Video.